Everybody, welcome back to the Tamara Tamu Show, where dreams have no filter. So today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics. And it's one of my favorite topics, but at the same time, I think it's a scam too. Hence the title, Perfectionism is a Scam, because it is. And here's why. Well, first, let's talk about this. Let's talk about where perfectionism or the idea that we have to be perfect before we attempt anything, or that we have to be perfect to deserve what we want, to deserve something good, or to deserve something more than what we have. Where that idea came from, that things had to be perfectly aligned, or we had to have certain things in place in order to achieve what we wanted, or to embrace the vision, because that's what the show is about, embracing the visions that we have for ourselves, living, being, having, doing what we want, living in bliss, getting paid for our passions, okay? Living a life where every day is a vacation. All right. So before I get into it, you can tell this is one of my favorite topics, but so I don't jump ahead, let's start off with where perfectionism came from. So when I was thinking of how to even start off this topic, I started with the first, from my perspective, that idea of perfectionism comes from the education system. So, for those of you that are watching this that are educators, or you play some role in the education system, don't take this to heart. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about the entire system. It needs to be thrown out, chopped away, burned down, and started all over again. All right. So anyway, do you all remember, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, that big chart that was at the front of the room, on the chalkboard? Some of you may be too young to even know what a chalkboard is. Just for those of you that don't know what that is, that was a green board, all right, that was in every single classroom. And there was this thing called chalk. It was a white piece of basically chalk that the teachers and the students would use to write on this chalkboard. It was green, all right? And you could write whatever you wanted and then erase it and then write some more stuff, okay? So anyway, on that chalkboard, there would be some big poster that would have all the students' names on it. And, for whatever the project was for the week or for the day, you would have everyone's name. And then depending on the progress that you made toward whatever it was, you'd get a sticker for the day. Some people would have 3 stickers. Some people would have 7. Some people would have 5. So here you are as a child looking at this board, and you're comparing how many stickers that you have with the number of stickers that your classmates have. So again, you can see how, one person may have 1 star, one person may have 3, one person has 7. So while the idea of that was to get kids to look at their progress, to see how much more work that they had to do, it caused kids to, first of all, judge their own selves by what they did, or judge their own worth by what they did. And then it caused kids to compare themselves to other people. All right. So, you get to the end of the week and you can see the progress on this board. Some people are here, with their number of stars. Some people are all the way, you know, to where you can't see with more stars. All right. So then what does that do to a kid's mind, right? That same idea gets taken into corporate America. So I am thinking of right now my last corporate job that I had. And I wish I could have taken pictures. But again, there was the board with all, instead of your classmates, your teammates, the department, people in the department, certain production number, all the people's names lined up. And then here we have, they weren't stickers. I forgot what they called them, but the idea was the same. So here you are, you're seeing where you are versus other people. So you're comparing, constantly comparing. So you got the same idea. You're comparing you're tying in your worth to what you do. How does that relate to perfectionism? Well, you may be putting in time, effort, but you're not getting the same number of stickers that the next person is doing. So then once you see that constantly, then you may be thinking, okay, well, I'm not, because I don't have everything lined up like everyone else, or I don't have certain things in place. I may as well just keep floating through, not trying new things, not allowing myself to be expressed through creativity like we've been talking about, not knowing that there's more, but I've already saw that, I'm not doing enough. So I must not, that more must not be for me. It must be for other people. So slowly over time, you can see how that seeps into our subconscious. So then what happens is we get comfortable. We become complacent, still in the back of our mind, knowing that there's more and knowing that we can do more because we've got more gifts and more talents that we haven't even tapped into yet. But because we've got all of these subconscious beliefs about perfectionism, we tell ourselves, well, I don't have everything in place just yet. I want to make sure that, I want to give the best that I can give. I want to be polished before I do certain things, when that's not the case at all. That is a lie that we've told ourselves. Because really what we're saying is, really what we're doing first, we're hiding. And we don't want to just come out and say, you know what, this is what I want. But because I've tried certain things in the past, it didn't work, or I'm afraid to try. Instead of us saying that, it is okay to say, I'm afraid to try. But to say that, oh, I just want to make sure that I'm giving, my best and giving my all and making sure that, I can talk about, the things that I'm talking about, that I'm living that too, and all these other things. Here's another example. I heard someone say that what they want to do, they want to coach. Okay. And they also said in the same breath, well, they were giving a reason as to why they hadn't started coaching yet, because they felt like they didn't have their stuff together. Well, okay. I mean, I can understand that. But at the same time, is that really the reason? And what does that mean? I don't have my stuff to, what does that mean? Okay. If you know that you have a message for somebody, if you know that you can help somebody get from point A to point B, maybe you can't get them from point A to point F, but you can get them from point A to point B. You have something valuable to share with other people. If you've gotten yourself from point A to point B, you can very well show someone else. You're very qualified to coach someone to get them from A to point B. So that's another example of what we do, of how we use the lie of perfectionism to keep us in a box. Again, it is better to say, you know what, I'm afraid to try. Because that's the first thing. When you can say, I'm afraid to try, what you're doing is you are uncovering all of those subconscious thoughts. You're uncovering them. Now that you've uncovered them, now you can actually become the alchemist to use that uncovering, to use all of that energy that you've used to cover all those things up. Now you can alchemize. You can be the magician in your life. Use that energy to propel you into the life that you really want. Perfectionism is not a thing. Stop saying that, you want things to be aligned. Okay, that's a given. All of us, of course, it would be easier to say, it would be easier to say, I'm going to start this business when you have never started a business before. I think, and this is coming from my own experience, it's easier to say, I'm going to start a business if you've never started one before, versus saying, I'm going to start this business. I started one before and I didn't get the results that I wanted. All right. It's easier to say that. So, but anyway, I forgot the point that I was trying to make with that. But anyway, so let's go back to what I was saying before about alchemy. Now that you have said to yourself or said out loud, I'm afraid to take this next step. And it's not because I want to be perfect. It's because of fear. And it's because I've been hiding. And it's because I've been comparing myself to other people. So now that you have taken the covers off, okay, you have unveiled, you have revealed, it is uncovered, it's exposed. Now you can say, okay, so what? I don't have a certain dollar figure to start this business in a big way. But there is something that I can do. There is an action step that I can take, and that's what I'm going to do. So what if it doesn't, if the action step is not perfect? So what if it's bumpy? But you have to take the next step. For example, with this, YouTube channel, I could have said, well, I don't have all the things in place. Okay, so that would have been easy. I could have said that. That would have been easy for me to say, well, I'm just going to wait. Rather than getting creative, using what I already have in front of me to just get my message and my experience and my wisdom out to somebody who can use it and integrate it into their life. Instead of holding back the information that I have from my own life and not sharing it because I want to be perfect. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that over here on the Tamara Tamu Show, where dreams have no filter. All right. No filter equals no perfectionism. Okay. Of course, we want to put our best, but putting our best out there does not equal perfectionism. It doesn't. And that is why I'll go back to creativity and asking questions of, well, if I try this, if I just try it, what could it look like? Or you can, and not or, but and you can say, okay, what if I try this? What could it look like? What if I try this? What do I want it to look like? This is when alchemy comes into play. Your natural magic that you already have in your voice, which we are going to get into. And by the way, I just released a new ebook. All right, Your Cosmic Unleash. The link is in the description. I do talk more about the power of our voice, the power of our vocal cords, all of that. Okay, so it's an ebook right now for the moment. I am going to eventually have a physical book, but make sure you check that book out. It's powerful, a book. It has some other things in it, and I talk a little bit more about the subconscious and our subconscious thoughts and all of that. So check it out. Description is in the or the link is in the description. So perfectionism is a scam. All right. You may be someone who wants to share your voice. Perhaps you want to be a speaker. And you've told yourself, well, I don't sound polished enough. I don't sound. Just start talking. Okay? Just start talking. Start sharing your message. All right? You've had experiences, you've had life experiences, and if you want to share your story, then share your story. Pick a platform and go from there. Whatever your platform is. All right. So again, perfectionism is a scam. It is not a thing. Yes, we want to put our best forward, but that does not equal perfectionism. And it is going to take removing yourself from that perfectionism box, that perfectionism construct, to finally live the life fully, to allow yourself to be fully expressed. Okay, not the watered down version, not the filtered version, but all of you. All right. So thank you for watching. If you are new here, I appreciate you subscribing. Share this video, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so that you know when I post a brand new video. All right. Thank you. Until next time. Cheers.